Whoa, whoa, whoa! Trudeau, save some punani for the rest of us.
What women want.
Boy, talk about white knighting. Because, I spent a lot of time, land to the north.
Unfortunately.
And it's a silly place. Mm-hmm. The Prime Minister is just the pits. It's time for No Canada. Yesterday, in just be ready. In the greatest display of national leadership faggotry that I have seen, Justin Trudeau
good usage.
Condemned the American people for something, not voting for vagina. Oh, sorry, right clip. But I bet you he doesn't drink beer on weekdays. Oh. Here's the Trudeau clip.
No, it shouldn't be that way. It wasn't supposed to be that way. We were supposed to be on a steady, if difficult sometimes, march towards progress. And yet, just a few weeks ago, the United States voted for a second time to not elect its first woman president. Everywhere, women's rights and women's progress is under attack, overtly and subtly. But I want you to know that I am, and always will be, a proud feminist. You will always have an ally in me and in my government.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Trudeau, save some punani for the rest of us.
What women want.
Boy, talk about white knighting. I will forever be a feminist.
So you give
up your seat? Well, no.
Yeah, I thought he was going to say, and I am transitioning to be the first female prime minister. Is he the first female prime minister of Canada? I don't know.
Certainly be the first female Castro prime minister of Canada. And then, in just a display of silliness, the Ottawa Premier, Doug Ford, said that he talked about energy, because that's really the only value that Canada brings to the world, let's be honest.
Sure.
That he was going to punish the United States and Donald Trump for their tariffs by basically hijacking Canada's energy exports.
Oh, and the last thing was Olivia Gondak. It says that I wanted to eat her Olivia Gondak. I've never said that in my life to her. I would never do that. I'm happily married. I've got more than enough to eat at home.
What about drinking and driving, Mayor? What about drinking and driving?
You would never do that? Ho, ho, ho. You're a white guy. Now, ooh. And then, see, same thing with Kavanaugh, Hegseth. And by the way, he obviously did make some missteps, Rob Ford. But they go, what about drinking? What about, oh, now we move on to the next thing. It doesn't matter. Stop apologizing. You're imperfect. I'm imperfect. It doesn't. Pete Hegseth is imperfect. Donald Trump is imperfect. You're not dealing crack and stabbing record executives and potentially trafficking children. Not all of those are coming from one person, by the way. That was actually Rob Ford. I apologize. The brother. And by the way, the better brother, if you can believe it, compared to the Ottawa Premier, Doug Ford, who said this.
As I mentioned to the Prime Minister, the rest of the premiers, we need to be ready. We need to be ready to fight. This fight is coming 100% on January the 20th or January 21st. Chrystia Freeland's going to put a list together. We're going to put our list together, and I'm sure the other provinces will as well.
And he's going to check it twice.
We will go to the full extent, depending on
Love the American flag behind you.
We will go to the extent of cutting off their energy, going down to Michigan, going down to New York State, and over to Wisconsin. I don't want this to happen, but my number one job is to protect Ontarians and Canadians as a whole, since we're the largest province.
Oh, cut off our energy because we ask you to play fair in international trade. Hope you like being conquered.
Yeah, let's simplify the flag display. I don't want them to have 3 up. By the way, why is there an American flag?
It was the evolution. It started with England, then it was Canada, then it'll be the U.S.
Let's just get rid of the other 2 and go to the 1, guys. It'll be simple and easy.
I want to walk up to Donald Trump and just hand him a Canadian quarterly. They still have the Queen on their money? Gross!
I like how he's Canada first, but we can't be America first.
Exactly. Everyone can be their country first because all cultures are beautiful and equal, except the United States. You know, the world's best country and culture. That's our main export, actually, is culture. And this is just another example of how silly Canada is. Yeah, sure, okay, they could cut off the energy, but Canada's only value is being energy rich, right? Is being resource rich, and anywhere else throughout the timeline of human history would not exist because you have a country that's bigger than the United States. We've already gone through the miles and miles of border that they have, the tens of thousands of miles, and no way to protect it. But thank God you have your big brother, the United States, there. So you have the luxury of socializing healthcare. And as it relates to energy, you want to talk about white knighting and virtue signaling? In Canada, they actually were fighting in the name of Gaia, right, environmentalism, to shut down and not take energy from, and the name is descriptive of exactly what it is, the Alberta tar sands.
I've said time and time again, and you're all tired of hearing me say it, you can't make a choice between what's good for the environment and what's good for the economy. We can't shut down the oil sands tomorrow. We need to phase them out. We need to manage the transition off of our dependence on fossil fuels. That is going to take time, and in the meantime, we have to manage that transition.
Jeez. I know what you're thinking. It's not just like big swaths of sand with tar in it that needs to be protected, right? Yes. It's tar sands. It's like God going, here, it's sand with tar in it. You can see it. And it's in the shittiest province that exists. There's nothing in Alberta. But I've given you a sand of tar. Light your lamps.
This makes no sense to me.
No, we can't do
What else
it.
are you going to use it for? Playgrounds?
Well, there is a tar sand monster that is.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, you want to.
Spider-Man's kind of on break.
That was Fern Gully 4.
Can't
Wasn't
dig
as
too
interesting.
deep, so
There you go.
yeah, there you go. That's tar.
Where
sand.
could it be?
What
We
should
can't,
do with
guys, come on. What are we can't clear cut here.
We're almost out of oil.
this? It's almost like cleaning it up is the right thing to do.
I think I saw a seagull here once.
Is that maple syrup? Well, then leave it alone.
What ecosystem
There
are
used
you
to be
destroying?
seals there. They clubbed them all to death.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they
For
have,
oil.
they have immunity. The Inuit used to be known as Eskimos, and they don't care.
Yeah.
You can call them whatever. They don't understand you. They go,
Call it whatever you want.
Yeah, they can't understand a word.
and by the way, this is all that stupid talking tough. Your words don't mean anything. Your actions define you. Canada needs to export energy. They can't get around it. That's why just hold the line. The United States has the leverage. We're not asking to screw them. We're asking to finally have a fair deal. Just because you are successful, and the United States is, does not mean you have to be the world's charity. But this is how the left sees it, is, oh, you're successful, therefore you're oppressor. And the people who are unsuccessful must be the oppressed. That's how they see Israel and Palestine. That's how they see any conflict, really. It's if you have better weapons, if you have better bombs, if you have better energy, if you are in the modern world and they are not, it must be because you did something wrong. Hey, maybe if you are immensely successful, not in all cases, I would lean toward it's because you did something right. I don't know if you know this, but Africa is a continent, and those countries, you know, it's run by rape and war and genocide and getting rid of your AIDS with a 6-year-old virgin girl. Hey, you know the reason that there's and you know the reason they're still unsuccessful is you could maybe say, hey, maybe correlation equals causation here because we don't allow child rape unless it's Epstein Island, right? Most Americans don't. So maybe a country is successful because they've done something right. The left assumes that you're only successful if you're rich. You didn't build that. It's time to take it away. You're the most successful country that's ever existed. You're the only country that has ever gone from being oppressed by the world's most powerful empire, one century, to become the world's only empire the next century, and you didn't conquer land and actually colonize. Oh wait, hold on a second. Let's just change the definition and say it's colonization by another name. All right. Okay, let's go with that. Canada needs to export energy.
Yeah.
Their energy industry, just when we're dealing with it employs 285,000 people, which is like 50% of Canada. Makes up 10.3% of their GDP. And 89% of their energy exports went to the United States.
Yeah.
Good luck, Ford. Shut it down. Good luck. And then, go wrap up the tar sands in a tarp and see how that works out for you. There's not enough solar and wind in the world. It's a silly place with silly people, and we subsidize the entire world, whether it's free internet in Germany, whether it is socialized healthcare in every other country. They get to do it because we foot the bill so that the modern world, the semi-free world, gets to exist. That's it. Hey, if you like this video, you can hit the notification bell there to know when new videos come out, because I don't think subscriptions are still a thing on YouTube, but you know, you're an adult, most likely, so you can just choose one of the videos here to keep watching, and hopefully it's similar. I don't know what it is.